Hey, how you doing? Sorry, I'm late, but I'm pretty sure I was born late, so at this point you should not be surprised. Yeah, but anyway, today I wanted to talk about something kind of interesting. So, last year, around like 27th of December, I started doing this one thing where every time I would wake up with a really weird dream, I would write it down. So, yeah, I got this idea of a dream diary from someone, and I said, you know what? That's kind of fucking interesting. So, that's what we're doing today. We're gonna go through one of my very recent so called entries in this dream diary or whatever. I mean, there's no beating around the bush. Let's just get into it. So, this was on 12th of March. So, I'm recording this on 14th of March. So, this is like literally 2 days ago. Okay, so here's what it starts off as. So basically, me and my family, my mom, my dad, and for some weird reason, my uncle, aunt, and their 9-year-old daughter. So we're in this restaurant, we're having dinner, and keep in mind that this restaurant is at like in some fucking skyscraper. Like it's at like the 11th floor or something. I don't know. But it was a very high-rise building, and I was there, and for some reason, the lights were out, right? So the lights were out, and the next thing I know, at least as much as I remember, is that the building started to tilt. So you know how like high-rise buildings, whenever it's really windy, they'll swing. Like you don't notice it, but they do swing. You can look it up. There's some pretty creepy videos about it on YouTube as well. So the building started to like swing, and then it fucking toppled. It toppled while we were, inside. Like I remember being able to feel my body sort of going, okay, I don't know how to explain this, but it was just like I was rolling over mid-air, as the building fucking fell down, and somehow we all survived that. Like I remember. In the dream, I'm crawling out of the rubble, and I check on my family and my cousins, and everyone's fine. Literally, like no scratches or anything. And then the next thing I remember is that they're like headed to the hospital, the hotel. I don't actually know where they were going, somewhere, and I wasn't with them. Instead, I went to this like rave club kind of place. I don't know, but it was like a very shady place. So I remember talking to this one guy. I don't know exactly what we talked about, but I think it was something like, oh, there's this like very exclusive party, and I'm like, oh, can I get in? And the dude goes, no, it's like very exclusive, and you need like a shit ton of money to just even get in and stuff. So and then I was basically following my family and trying to get to them. So I somehow got hold of this 2-wheeler, and I was like chasing them down, looking at my GPS and shit. But somehow I took like a really wrong turn and went into the sort of fucked up part of town. You know what I mean? And I remember there being a lot of potholes that were filled with water. So apparently it was a really shitty Indian road, because that's what happens in India. And that essentially slowed me down, right? Then I remember that I was somehow being followed by these two guys on a bike. And they were like, so I remember turning around to them and I'm like, what the fuck do you want? And they're like, oh, we just want to mug you. Literally. And so I was like, oh, well, okay, I'm just gonna get the fuck out of here. And and then somehow I end up with a bike, like not a bike, but like a cycle. I don't know how. And I'm in this like slum area. And it's one of those like vertical slum areas, the ones that like you see in Brazil or something, like where they have like lower levels, and then it's like slums up a mountain or something. And apparently Dream Me is a fucking daredevil, because I like parkour my way all through those slums and on a fucking cycle, and I just somehow evade them. I don't know. But I do that, then I end up like near this like drug dealer place, or like a mafia outpost or something, and they're all playing football. So actually, now that I think about it, I'm just in Brazil then. Like shady place, some people are playing football, sounds like Brazil, you know what I mean? I'm not racist, I'm just making a joke, relax. So I try and blend in, but I get caught. And then there's this guy that's like asking me all these questions, and he's like, "Oh, where are you from?" I say that, yeah, I'm out of town and stuff, and I just moved here. And then he like asks me all these questions to, you know, make sure that I am who I say I am, and I did just move here, blah blah blah. So I basically remember just lying in my dream, like just making up shit as we go. And then he asked me for like a cigarette. I'm like, I don't have one, but I do have money if you want me to go buy one. Essentially, I was just trying to get the fuck out of there, right? And then like some conversation happens, and the same guy who seems like he's the fucking, like, you know, the kingpin's right hand or some shit, you know what I mean? So he asked me, "Oh, you want to make some money? I can like this. You just have to drive this car from one place to the next." And I'm like, "Oh yeah, that's actually what I came here for. I actually was looking for that kind of work exactly." So apparently Dream Me is a fucking grade A genius and knows how to bullshit his way out of everything. Just like in real life, because I can waffle on any topic ever and just get out of it. Legit though. So he does that. I just say, "Oh yeah, I came here to do exactly that," but I actually can't because I'm like out this weekend, exactly the time you told me to like transport that car. So sorry, my grandmother's actually on her deathbed or some shit, so I gotta go out of town. And then I woke up. I don't fucking know, bro. Like, it was such a weird dream, and it doesn't make any sense. Well, dreams usually don't. Like, at one point I'm falling, like, this building fucking topples, and I somehow survive. Everyone survives. Then I'm fucking trying to get away from these two, like, thieves on a bike, and the bike somehow turns into a cycle, and then I do parkour down mountainous slums, and then I end up in the middle of a mafia ring. Like, what the fuck? It doesn't make sense because it's not like I watched something the night before that would, you know, like I didn't watch Narcos. You know, like I don't know, remember what I watched, but like it wasn't something that would directly make it so that I'm dreaming about that thing, you know. But it was very interesting, and if you haven't done this, I genuinely urge you to do that, because like I'm looking at my dream diary right now, and there's a couple of really interesting weird stories that have happened, and if this video is somewhat received well, I'll make some more of them, because I think they're kind of interesting, and it's free content, and I genuinely hope that sometime in the future there's like some fucking technology that can make me look back at my dreams, or like be able to record them and shit and watch them later, because it's fucking cool. Like, it's kind of crazy what your imagination can do, and how real it feels in a dream. Like, I look back to that part where like the building was collapsing, and I can fucking it felt so real, man. It was terrifying. I'm surprised I didn't wake up, because it felt very real. Like, I can remember the sort of motion of my body just going above, like losing sight of like gravity in that one moment that building was toppling over, you know what I mean? It's just kind of insane. But yeah, if you like the video for some bad reason, like it, if you want to subscribe and want some more subpar content, then do that. But yeah, I'm gonna go snort some cocaine right in a bit.